Hello and welcome. Silrace here with a video. I don't normally do this kind of stuff. This is unboxing video for Battle of Zycanthus. Anyway, Maelstrom's Edge. If you're into miniature gaming and you haven't heard of this one, you have been out of the loop, man, for whatever reason. Because this is from the Spiral Arm Studios, who have been running the dakadaka.com community for, what, 7-8 years? Something like that. Now, I admit, I haven't been active in the dakadaka community for many a year now myself, because I haven't really been doing too much miniature stuff. But I have been doing miniature stuff since I was like, what, 8-9 years old? Somewhere around there. So I have been immersed in the, well, wargaming culture for a long time. I went to miniature events, I went to tournaments with Warhammer 40k models. I did this kind of stuff. I absolutely love them. I still have miniatures around. I actually still paint and, convert miniatures every year, even though I haven't really played that much for many a year. But I still find it fun. And so when these guys, the Spiral Arm Studios, was like, okay, we're bringing out a miniature game on Kickstarter, the hell I backed that, like, instantly. It's just like, okay, yeah, I am into that. And so, my box is finally here. Let us take it apart, and this is an X-Acto knife, because every miniature gamer in the world has at least 2 of these things, hidden in a closet somewhere. So, I already cut it open, so I don't cut anybody up on the actual, screen itself, and you get to see my self-built desk as well in this during this process, which is fantastic. Now, packaging looks really nice, as in it's actually been done well, and it has been protected well, which is brilliant, which is fantastic. Not something you always see these days, where people cut the costs on absolutely everything. So packaging material is one of the first things usually which tends to suffer, unfortunately, and then you end up having faulty products and stuff. And so yeah, I put in some extra money and I got a couple nice books for this. So I plan to enjoy my time reading these when I finally can. And this looks nice, the cover is nice. This is book 2 of the series. Alright, and another book, which is the book 1 of the series. It's also very nice cover. I do like this, I know, kind of a, like, let's say end of the world vibe to it. Very, very nice, and so forth. Alright, books in perfect order. Fantastic stuff. Let's discard packaging material and go on to the main meat and potatoes of this thing, which is obviously the miniature game itself, because that's what the miniature gamers are all about, right? That's what we miniature gamers are all about. Now, I admit I haven't played Warhammer 40k miniatures in how many freaking years, probably a decade. I still own some. Actually, I still own more than some, but I haven't played them. I haven't painted much of them either. I have been more into smaller scale stuff, because it's easier to get games going and easier to get miniatures going for it. So I'll open this up and let's have a look at the box. Firstly, box. Really, really damn nice. So I actually really like this art style. Like, this looks really freaking good. The full black surroundings to create a sort of a lens cinema effect of like zooming into the action. Very, very well done art right there. I love this. A little bit extra color onto the text instead of it just being on a flat background. Fantastic choice. And this just being this not being on a frame, but just being on there, very, very, very good. I really like this box art color. Sorry about flashing the background light on it that much, but anyway, just noticed it. Let's check the box's rear. Alright, so basically it shows what it contains, all the usual warnings of age warning and all that stuff. 12 plus age warning is always a little funky for this stuff, considering I was doing these things since I was like 8 or 9, something along those lines. But then again, I might come from a, you know, family where people are a little bit more tolerant of this kind of stuff. I don't know about all of you or your families, so unfortunately for anybody who, well, doesn't get it. Oh, there is more. Well, at least the packaging is good if you make it this secure. Nice, nice. And doesn't appear to be the sort of packaging you occasionally run into, which is to, well, where you need a pneumatic drill to get through the stuff. That occasionally comes your way, happens these days. Alright, so plastic bags for the actual miniature things. Not mini grip, just plastic bags. Alright, let's look at this stuff in detail in a sec, but let's dig out what is actually here first. Nice, 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 nice. That looks like roll box and stuff. Yes, let's open that first. Roll box. Miniatures are fine, but you don't do much. Well, they are a shelf collector without a rule box, right? So you don't really do much with them without having a rule box to actually run around with. So, firstly, rule box. Very, very nifty. I like the actual, like, really easy look to it. It's like, just put the name there, Maelstrom's Edge, rollback, done. It's like, no need to make it any real flashy because your box is really flashy. So I like that. And also I do like the fact that they just straight up made it into an A5 size. It's like a booklet size. Instead of like having the A4 size, which is much harder to fit in when you're carrying your miniatures to a playing area, tournament, what have you. So this is much easier to take with you. Full color. Oh yeah, very much full color, very clear, crisp. Small text size, so if you have issues reading very small text, this might be a little bit of a problem for you, but the rules should be downloadable online for free. At least that was their original, and somebody correct me in the comment section if I am wrong with that, because I haven't actually double checked because I knew I was getting a version with the rulebook in it. So I haven't double checked after, but that I believe was their original goal, that the rules would be free on the online website of Maelstrom's Edge. Go check it out there if you rather use those. But like I said, a little bit small on the text size, so if you're, well, having issues with dyslexia and other things which might prevent you from reading small text, you might want to get the PDF version, print your own in the size you really want. But full color, lots of nice rules, lots of pictures, and not just pictures of the miniatures, but also some real nice looking art as well. So yeah, very nice, very nice indeed. All right, that's rulebook. What else is here? Dice and bases. All right, this is actually a nice mini grid bag. Huh? So flying bases. I'll be honest and say that I always hated flying bases. Then again, I played Zerg. I tended to have the little flying things, quite a bit of them. So I hated flying bases. They tended to break and snap when you're taking your models from place to place. Pain in the ass. Anyway, they seem to exist here. Actual bases and dice. Because I don't already own like hundreds of D6s, D6 being 6-sided dice if you're not into gaming lingo on dice. But but it's always nice to have more dice. I mean, I have enough D6s to throw. This is tricky. I don't actually know what happened with the attack values now for Hormagaunts, but back in the day, when Hormagaunts on the charge had 3 attacks, and I had enough dice to roll the attack dice for a full 32-man unit on a single charge, so that's 96 dice. Anyway, you could never reach all 32 of them into melee range at one go, but still, yeah, I had enough dice to do that if I so desired, so could do. Well, you could against a full Termagant unit, or possibly a full Orc Boy unit. Anyway. That's reminiscent in the past. I actually don't know what happened with the rules since then. I haven't actually looked, and I am not really that interested because I am playing other miniature games, and looks like this might be the next one I will be playing. Anyway, let's continue. So, model quality. Let's talk about model quality. Let's show the stuff closer to the webcam. As you can see, there is like no residue left over from the resins on any of these things. That is massive quality right away. You don't, well, you do still have to cut them off the frame, obviously, but it doesn't appear like there is resin leftovers on the sides of any of the plastic pieces, as you can see. So that means you don't have to use your X-Acto knife to accidentally possibly cut off pieces from other sides, as was for a long bloody time the case with many of the Games Workshop models. I don't know if that's still the case. I haven't bought Games Workshop models in years, but if that's still the case, yeah, their quality control might not be up to par to the competition these days, which could actually be very true. That's not this in Games Workshop because I don't honestly know their current quality of their models, so I can't for sure say. If somebody really knows, let me know in the comments section. Do you still run into the issues where you have, like, you know, extra pieces hanging off your plastic and metal models? Do they even make any metal models anymore? I suppose they do, considering Privateer Press also makes metal models. But all of this appears to be plastic, which I am really okay with, because I like converting my models. I like making small changes to make every single module an individual. So when I make up a squad of 10-15 models, I convert every single one with very small additions. It doesn't have to be anything big. It might just be, you know, changing the leg positions, like cutting the model up in such a way that I can change the leg positions, filling in the gaps with green stuff or the equivalent of green stuff, because I haven't used an actual green stuff in ages. I use an equivalent thing. Or add tiny little details to the model. Make every single miniature unique from the others. Also, I tend to vary paint schemes on them just slightly. This was awesome to do on Zerg, where, you know, everything was evolutionary mutations, so you could add in a little bit more or less colors, change the color variations. It created very dynamic looking units when people realized that nothing in your army is actually the exact same as the others, and it's not just the, you know, snap-on parts which you glue in, as in, because this is the easy variations you can do, where you change the way the like arms are positioned. One guy has a gun raised, one guy has a gun lowered, all that stuff. That is easy variation to do. I like to add a little bit other touch and detail, like add feathers to a dude, like add a feather to a dude's helmet. These kind of very little things which people don't usually notice or pay attention to even, but then when they notice and pay attention, it is an awesome feeling when somebody's like, oh, that is actually bloody brilliant, I didn't even realize that's not part of the original model. And that makes me feel good. I love doing that. Granted, it takes a lot of hours, but when you are done, it is fantastic. I really like that. Now let's go through the rest of this stuff. I want to know if actually this whole thing is free of any you know, residue crap, then I am really freaking happy with what I have bought here. And that actually appears to be the case. There is none on these parts either. Absolutely fantastic quality on these parts. Granted, obviously the quality doesn't show quite as well because it's unpainted still and all that stuff. I mean, that's part of the miniature hobby. You really bring things to life by painting them, and that's part of the fun and all that stuff. Because by the coloring, colors and such, you bring stuff to life. Is it a shame though how many of the mini... Oh, actually do these? Wow, what? These things have a... These things look like they are supposed to stack on top of each other. What the... Is that true? Because if that's true, that's kind of interesting. Because I was looking at these these little stakes in the ends, and they look like they're supposed to stack, sort of stack on each other. Nope, they don't quite fit. So that's essentially where the resin ends go. It's like how to do these things properly. So yeah. Okay. I'm okay with that. But that would have been hilarious if they had made it in such a way that these sprues already like stacked on top of each other using these things here. Anyway. So yeah. So far really good looking miniatures. With no issues whatsoever. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. Fantastic, right? Anyway, now next thing is to get the time to actually paint all of this stuff up. I love the gun design they went for. Let's see if I can show the close up on the guns here in a fashion which actually shows on the camera in any good way. So essentially it looks like a little like an alien pulse rifle on some of these weapons. So that is kind of interesting to me. I do appreciate also having different kinds of guns, and that blade, like hand with like a pistol with a blade attached to the pistol, like that looks crazy. It's like, why would you put a bayonet on a pistol? Anyway, people can come up with different and strange things when it comes to comes to stuff. Wait, that actually stacks. Really? They made this spruce stack. As long as it's identical sprue, it actually stacks on top of the other. That is kind of nifty, actually. That's kind of funky. Not what I was expecting at all to find as a quality as well. But that is actually kind of nice. Kind of nice change of pace from the usual craziness and silliness which goes on here. So then we have terrain sprues to make other things. Now terrain, this is something I personally never buy in any kind of a plastic form or a cardboard form, because I make my own terrain. I use cardboard, I use styrofoam, I use all sorts of materials over the years to make terrain. I have used old spare miniatures to make terrain with statues and stuff, but since I am getting these with the game box itself, yeah, obviously I'm gonna build them, I'm gonna use them and see what happens with it. Now, obviously here are the first ones. As you can see, the windows are blocked with the wrong way, with an extra bit of plastic which needs to be cut out. So here is the first bit of residue extra plastic which had to have been put in. Actually, here is another one. As you can see, there is a little bit of a small stud here on the little thing. So yeah, those are the first ones I have come across so far, which need to be removed. Not such a big issue when the parts are this big. The issue is, well, it's not an issue. When they are attached to small parts, that's when you get issues, because you might accidentally clip tiny parts of the small bats you're cutting them off from. So yeah, Games Workshop notorious for making those mistakes. Have had issues with some privateer press stuff, but privateer press stuff has mostly been, well, the stuff I have dealt with has mostly been metal, so I am okay. I've been okay with that. And also, let's be honest, to me, I have been doing this so long, the converting, the modeling stuff so long, that to me it's not an issue. I use a variety of green stuff to fix the issues. It's not a big deal for me, but anybody who doesn't have, like, well, doesn't necessarily have the skills, but also doesn't have all the stuff handy to do all that modeling themselves, yeah, for them it is a big issue. So, or it can be a big issue. Right, so we have cards, playing cards. Now where does this open? Haha, nice. I love it when they make a hole here to open without having to, you know, cut it open with an X-Acto knife or scissors or whatnot, so you don't damage your cards. So cards used in miniature games have become, I suppose, a bit more of a commonplace. Mission cards, Let's check out some of these things. What do they do? Firstly, card back. Mission in a really flashy text, kind of like a similar, I mean, look, if you look at this mission here and compare it to the rulebook, yeah, I like that. Very you take the simplistic design, you add it elsewhere and you run with it. So these are the missions you run, which actually detail you what the kind of a mission it will be, deployment and everything, primary type, objectives, special rules, all that stuff. Kind of nice, actually, to have them on cards instead of just having them in the rulebook. Makes it really easy to pull them out and shuffle. You know, you don't need to roll dice or anything for them. You could shuffle a mission, pick a mission for us to play, that sort of stuff. Very nice. I like. Alpha Strike. And more of that. Excavation. Defend the artifact. Alright. Very nice. I do quite like. Okay, what's on the rest of this stuff? Unit options, additional units. Oh. Very nice art here on this. Very nice art. I like kind of simplistic art, so to say. It's like, if you look at these spaceships, kind of simplistic art, but very nice art anyway. Wow, look at that. Very nice art. I quite like. I do very much like. So essentially event cards and that sort of stuff, and all sorts of other things. Alright, I don't mind one bit. So cards added to miniature games, awesome stuff. Another base. Base, which is this like on purpose? As you can see, there is little notch on that side and a little notch on the other side. So is this purposefully missing two notches, or is this an issue? It looks like it's on purpose from the mold. Looks like it's on purpose. Yeah, it has indents. Yeah. wonder what that is for. Actually, I'll have to experiment with it. But the rest of it is essentially miniature stuff. But before I am done, I'm going to show off all the templates as well, because every miniature gamer likes templates. Firstly, I'll be honest and say that I haven't double checked, are these exact matching sizes to other manufacturers who make plastic ones. Because if these are the exact matching sizes to other manufacturers' plastic versions, I'm gonna use those plastic versions instead. I absolutely hate cardboard stuff like this because these tend to go bad and break when you take them to tournaments and whatnot. I prefer plastic. Prior to the plastic stuff, I had made my own out of metal, actually. So comes to having worked at factories and stuff, so I use their stuff to well, I need these. I'll drill my own out of a thin sheet of metal. Anyway, that was that, but so forth. So now there are plastic versions. I need to double check that, but even then you are given and as you can see, different colors on each side. Very, very nice. I actually really like that. But like I said, you get these with the box, which is nifty. So you can play around with them. Personally, I really dislike the cardboard ones. I want plastic, but that's me because I want something which is sturdy, and if you drop it or if something weird happens, it doesn't break. Plastic tends to work pretty well for that. So yeah, or then I make them out of metal again. Who knows? Who knows? All right, more markers. Oh, those actually change color from one side to the other. Interesting. And lots of explosive markers. Very nifty. They appear to be same color on both sides. For example, if you look these top two and I turn it around, exact same colors on here. So yep, and these things also same color, except on this side again, little purplish thing, and on here. I think that concludes my video. I'm not gonna take everything apart at the moment because I wanna keep them as is until I start painting this stuff. So I'm not gonna open all the little plastic bags and everything until I get to painting these models, and I will eventually get to that once I find the time to start doing so. And when I do, I don't know, I might stream myself painting this stuff and answer questions about miniature wargaming and all that good stuff. I might do that. I don't know yet. I just might. Anyway, thank you very, very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully this was helpful to anybody who might be looking to buy this thing. If you are into miniature games, or if you are looking to get back into miniature games, I'm gonna go on a limb and highly suggest this one. This is without me actually playing this, so take that as with a grain of salt in that form, because I have not yet played this. But the reason I am willing to suggest this is because this comes with such a high, from such a high profile folks, right? I mean, come on. If you look at it, this comes from the Spiral Arm Studios, folks who have been managing Daka for 7 or 8 years, one or the other at the time of making this video. So yeah. These guys are invested in miniature games. They are very deeply invested in it. They typically know what makes a good miniature game, and so I'm fairly confident in saying that this might be the game to get you back into a miniature hobby. And obviously there are other competitors where you have, and well, this box brings you everything you need to play, at least to start with. But there are a couple cheaper competitors as well. For example, well, let's not say cheaper because this box is kind of cheaper. But there is a cheap way to get started, for example, with Privateer Press games, with War Machine or Hordes. They have their 2-person battle boxes you can start with and get on rolling. Anyway, thank you very, very much for watching. Hopefully this was enjoyable. And I don't think I will do any more of these unboxing videos. I don't really have anything to unbox at the moment anyway. This one was a special case because I really wanted this game. I really have been looking forward to this. And thank you Spiral Arm Studios for making it happen. Thank you.